No! Get! No! God damn! Get! The back! Get back!
They went for normal hunting. Everything was perfect. Or so they thought.
Wait, just stop it. I think you'll come more. Okay, when you turn it, okay, take him. Wait, not from the front.
But when the bullet hit this lion, something unexpected happened. The lion didn't go down. It didn't run away. It turned and charged and attacked one of them. Luckily, he ran back towards the woods, and the terror remains. Hunters believe they control the outcome. They have rifles. They have experience. But animals once wounded isn't defeated, it's enraged. It fights back. And at that time, it clears survival that hunters pray God. A hunter and his wife are stranded in their truck. They record what might be the most terrifying audio ever captured in the woods. Before moving, do not forget to subscribe. Their truck broke down on a remote road near Clipper Mills in the Sierra Nevada mountains. No cell service, no passing cars, just darkness and forest. They had no choice but to spend the night in their vehicle.
It's crazy.
Not a bear.
That's no dog.
It's a bear.
I think it's a bear. I don't think so.
Around 10 p.m., the sounds began. Deep, echoing, coming from somewhere in the woods behind them. At first, the couple thought it might be a dog or a wolf. But the more they listened, the more they realized this wasn't anything they recognized. The screams continued, getting louder, getting closer. The couple's dogs were in the truck with them. But here's what's important. The dogs didn't bark. The dogs didn't howl back. Instead, they sat in absolute silence, intensely listening, on full alert. Their dogs couldn't identify what was making those sounds, and that terrified them.
What here? What was that?
The screams weren't stopping. They were evolving, deep, echoing vocalizations that seemed to come from something massive. The couple sat in the darkness, recording, terrified, their dogs frozen in fear. The sounds continued for another 5 minutes, then another.
It sounds closer to me.
After midnight, the forest went silent. The sounds stopped. The couple sat in the darkness, waiting for dawn. They never saw what made those sounds. They never got a clear answer, but the audio was captured. The dog's behavior was documented. And something about Clipper Mills, California, changed that night.
Uh-oh, one's running right at us. Right at us.
In this few seconds, a hunter's night goes from controlled to catastrophic. A 1,000-pound boar charges full speed through the darkness. What happens next is something most people will never witness. Before you skip, hit subscribe. You need to see how this started. But to understand what went wrong, you first need to know what night hunting is and why hunters like Chris Robinson risk everything to do it. Through a thermal lens, the night becomes day. Animals glow white-hot against the cooler background. In Texas, that advantage was desperately needed. Feral hogs aren't native. They arrived centuries ago on Spanish ships. Today, there are millions of them across North America, destroying crops, contaminating water, spreading disease, killing livestock. Government culls about 90,000 coyotes a year to protect ranches. But hogs? They breed so fast, traditional hunting can't keep up. They're intelligent, they adapt, they hide. So hunters like Chris Robinson turn to thermal imaging. On this particular night, Chris wasn't hunting alone. Feral hogs move in groups, especially at night. They're looking for food. They're vulnerable when they're distracted. That's when a hunter strikes. Chris moved through the Texas darkness with his thermal scope to his eye. He was ready, or so he thought. Through the thermal scope, Chris spotted them a group of boars, multiple targets, multiple opportunities. He tracked the group, watching their heat signatures move through the darkness. Chris lined it up. Through the thermal scope, the animal glowed bright white. One clean shot. He fired. One down, but the group was still there. Chris steadied his aim. He breathed. He fired again. The shot connected. The boar stumbled. For a moment, Chris thought it was down. He thought the hunt was over. 2 successful shots, 2 kills, routine work. But he was wrong. What happens next is why hunters fear the darkness. The boar wasn't dead. It was injured, bleeding, in pain. And as any predator knows, a wounded animal is far more dangerous than a healthy one. This boar didn't run. It didn't hide in the darkness. It charged.
Two. Uh-oh, one's running right at us. Right at us.
1,000 pounds of muscle, blood, and rage running directly at the man who shot it. Through the thermal scope, Chris watched the heat signature grow larger, closer. The boar was moving faster than anything that size should move. Chris had seconds to react. For the next seconds, The thermal scope becomes pure chaos. You see violent motion. You hear Chris's breathing, panicked now, not controlled. You hear the boar's squeals. The camera shakes violently. The scope loses focus. The boar is finally down dead or retreating deep into the Texas darkness. But here's what people don't understand. Wounded animals are unpredictable. They don't follow the rules of a clean hunt. They don't die when you think they should. They fight back when you assume they're finished. On that Texas ranch, Chris survived his mistake. But survival isn't victory. It's a second chance. A hunter in Louisiana had a rifle pointed at a creature's head, 20 yards away. Perfect shot. But the moment he was about to pull the trigger, something changed everything. A roar, a whistle, and suddenly he wasn't hunting anymore. He was being hunted.
Black, shiny hair. But I'm pretty sure it was a Bigfoot.
Michael was hunting in Louisiana when he saw it, standing behind a tree about 15 yards away, looking directly at him. A Bigfoot. The creature was growling, angry, like it was warning him.
I'm pretty sure it was a Bigfoot. And so he's standing behind a tree, looking at me about 15 yards. And I'm looking at him, and it was terrible. He was growling. He got one time he got so mad at me, he started beating the tree with the sides of his fist. Boom, 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 you know. You can even have the deer stand. You know, I don't care. I just want to get out of here.
Stay back there! Stay back!
He showed me his teeth. They were just big and flat.
Stay back or I'll shoot!
Yeah, I said, you know, it looks like I'm going to have to shoot this thing, you know. And so I knew I would have to make a headshot. What I'm gonna do is look through my scope. He had like a human face, and his eyes scared me. Everybody said, well, did the body's big scare you? I said, no, it was his eyes. I mean, they were satanic. I've never in my life been that scared. I just, I wanted to cry because I've never seen nothing like that. It was horrible. Yeah, I was actually afraid to shoot him because I thought I'd make him madder, you know. And like I said, I just wanted him to leave, go back where he come from, and I was gonna go back where I come from, but he wouldn't do it. I had the crosshairs right between his eyes, and it's like about a 20-yard shot, maybe 15 yards. And as I was getting ready to pull the trigger, he let out a roar like a lion. About 100 yards to the north from him, a whistle come back, a shrill whistle, kind of like a steam engine, you know.
Then, the first creature looked over at the whistle, then looked back at Michael and grinned. That's when Michael realized there was a second one, and it was coming. The second creature was moving through the brush, cracking branches, heavy and aggressive.
About 100 yards to the north from him, a whistle come back, a shrill whistle, kind of like a steam engine, you know. And I'd heard that whistle all my life in the woods, but I thought it was a bird. Well, he looked over at it, and he'd come back and looked at me, and he whistled back. Kind of did a grin.
Who's there?
And that's when I heard the other one coming. He was coming.
Michael ran toward his truck. Behind him, the first creature was chasing him. The second creature was running parallel to him through the trees, not on the logging road like Michael, but through the trees.
I was ready to run like, I'll get out, because I was scared. With no gun, I know he would have killed me. I'm running. I'm trying to run, but I'm so afraid that my legs felt like they weighed 500 pounds. I feel like I couldn't move. And so here he comes. He's chasing me.
Michael got in his truck. The creatures didn't stop him. They disappeared back into the Louisiana darkness. But Michael never went back to those woods.
No! Get! No! God damn! Get! Back! Get back!
Early morning in the Arizona wilderness. A solo female backpacker is sleeping in her tent with her 6-month-old son nearby. She wakes up to scratching, hissing. Something is trying to bite through her tent netting. It's a rabid skunk.
It wasn't okay. Is that a skunk? Hey, bro. Get. No. Get. Shoo. Get. Please don't stink up my... Son of a... Don't muss me. Get. No. Get. No. God damn. Get.
The skunk circles her tent, hissing aggressively. She's screaming, hitting at the tent from the inside. The more she screams, the more aggressive the skunk becomes. It moves from one side of the tent to the other. She's trapped with a 6-month-old baby inside a thin fabric tent, being attacked by an animal carrying one of the deadliest viruses on Earth.
Get.
Attacking my tent!
Get back! Get back!
Yeah, there's a skunk, attacking my tent. He's hissing at me and... A skunk! Trying to get in. Get back! Get back! He's gonna bust through! Get back! Oh my God. I don't know. He keeps circling and coming back. I don't see him right this second. But he keeps coming up to my netting and trying to bite through.
Other hikers, including a search and rescue worker, hear her screaming and run to help. They scare the skunk away. But the attack lasted minutes that felt like hours. When they finally managed to drive it off for good, she realized the nightmare wasn't over. The skunk had been biting at her tent netting. If it had broken through, if her skin had made contact with its saliva, she would have been exposed to rabies, a virus with a 99.9% fatality rate once symptoms appear.
I don't see him right this second. But he keeps coming up to my netting and trying to bite through. My food bag is in the bear bag, or in the bear thing. I was... You think he has rabies? I'm so sorry to get y'all up, but I'm gonna show, I recorded this. I'm gonna show y'all him biting at this tent. Oh my God, I have never had anything like that happen.
After the attack, the real fear set in. She was backpacking solo. She was pumping breast milk for her baby. When the skunk was biting her tent, did its saliva get on her hands? Did she then touch her eyes? Did she touch the milk? Rabies can transmit through any membrane, eyes, nose, mouth, or open wounds. One mistake, one moment of touching the wrong thing with contaminated hands.
Maybe I am dreaming this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, help!
And then I thought, then I will admit, then I thought mountain lion.
Yeah.
And then honestly I thought, well, we got to be careful too.
Right, no, of course. Well, and I mean, the way I was screaming, I'm sure it did seem like I was dying.
Well,
That's like a
that's
later
just
stage, I feel.
classic symptoms.
Yeah.
Erratic, aggressive behavior, not afraid of people.
Yeah.
That's just all. And
So-
we get rabies is endemic in these mountains.
Yeah.
I periodically come across like a dead skunk, and it died from rabies, or a dead fox.
Later, a medical worker told her that, while the risk was low, rabies is almost always fatal once symptoms appear. She had to decide whether to get the rabies vaccine, just in case. The worker said it's best to get the shots within 72 hours if there's any chance of exposure. In the end, she decided to get the vaccine. She didn't want to risk waiting and finding out too late. Every year, hunters venture into remote wilderness, believing they have the advantage. They have weapons and plan. But what they encounter in the wilderness doesn't care about your rifle or your skill. It cares about one thing: survival. Subscribe for more hunting encounters where humans realize too late that they weren't the hunters anymore. They were the prey.